Hello, and welcome to my third demonstration video for my LIS 519 Youth Programming class at Southern Mississippi, where I'm earning my graduate degree in library sciences. Today we are going to be making mini canvases of cloudy skies. This is going to be a teen program. Some things that you'll want before we get started are going to be acrylic paints, a small canvas, a flat brush, soft brush, small brush, some water in a cup, and some paper towels. I can show you my setup in just a second. So this is my setup right now. I have got my acrylic paints here, some paper towels, I've got some different types of brushes, some water, I've got the mini canvas. I also put this around the background of where I'm going to be painting so that it doesn't damage the table. This is an example that I did a little while ago on some scrap paper, and I also managed to get a plastic palette. You don't need one though, you can kind of just put the paint on whatever you have. Cardboard works too, but I've also started to set up some stuff. So with further ado, I will get into it. For step one, pick out the colors that you want to use for your background. I'm using violet, blue, yellow, and orange. So step two is you're going to get that background done, starting with darker colors blending into the lighter ones. Depending on the time of day, you can do darkest at the top or darkest at the bottom. Really doesn't matter. Daytime one over here, I did darkest at the bottom, lighter on top. I am going for, again, violet to orange kind of look. I can include a reference photo that I used for the sunset. I used a lot of white. I ended up blending with some paper towel as well, and I'm using the wide brush for this. Step three is going to be allow some time to dry before you add on the clouds. I'm gonna go ahead and replace some of that paint water that I mixed up when I was switching colors as well. So that's step 1 to 3 all done. I will be right back for step 4. Okay, so step 4 is a little bit optional, but if you're doing like a nighttime or a sunset scene, you can take a brush after this is dry, after the background is dry. Take a wider brush, dip it in some white paint, and using a clean brush, tap on the back of it, and you can create kind of a splatter effect for some stars. You can also add more later, and again, this is optional. But that's just what I did. And again, this is after step 3, which was to just let things dry for a little bit, change some paint out, mix up some more colors, get yourself ready for the next step. So for step 5, we're going to start creating some clouds. I'm going to get my paintbrushes ready for that, and I will be right back. For step 5, you're going to start building up your clouds using either a sponge or a wide brush or some paper towels, whatever you have. You're just going to take some white paint and start dabbing that on. For step 6, you're going to start building up some dimension with some darker colors mixed with white while the paint is still wet. I'm going to go ahead and do step 6 now. So for step 6, I continued using my paper towel, and I used some pink and violet mixed with white to build up some dimension to the clouds. And then for step 7, I took some white and I went back in to add some highlights and blended everything together. For step 8, using a small narrow brush, you are going to add in the moon or the sun. I added a little face for my moon, for the man in the moon. You don't have to. And then for step 9, you can add any other details that you'd like. I chose to use violet to add 2 little birds. And then once you let it dry, you are pretty much all set. I do want to show you how my example that I did on some scrap paper, how it lines up. So you could do this with a friend if you want to. You don't have to. It could be a single person project, but this is just an option that you could do. You can also change the type of clouds that you do, or choose to do daytime or just a different kind of sunset or sunrise, and you are pretty much all done. That's all.